I saw a funny ad that said, skip the mess, convert your tapes to digital. Who are you rescuing the tape from? A person who will inherit your vinyls and tapes and then donates them to Goodwill? No, thanks. I'm going to use mine until they wear out completely. Welcome back to Walt's Vinyl Albums, where we dive deep into the stories behind music legends and their timeless albums. Today we're shining the spotlight on Bryan Adams and his iconic 1984 album, Reckless. Bryan Adams was born to two English immigrants in Kingston, Ontario in 1959. His father joined the Canadian Army and eventually joined the Foreign Service, a job that took the family all over the world. Bryan lived in England, Portugal, Austria, and Israel before returning to Canada with his mother and younger brother. It was there he began his musical career. Adams dropped out of school to pursue music, a passion that was fueled by bands like Creedence Clearwater Revival, Led Zeppelin, and Deep Purple. At the age of 15, Adams replaced Nick Gilder as the lead singer of a Canadian band called Sweeney Todd. While he was not making music, Adams worked odd jobs to support himself, seeing as he'd spent his college fund on a grand piano. Adams had his first small taste of success early in his tenure with Sweeney Todd. The band re-recorded their song Roxy Roller, a moderate Canadian success that snuck into the top 100 in the United States. After Adams was introduced, the band then recorded their 1977 album If Wishes Were Horses, not only before Adams left the band, and he was only 16. In 1978, Adams met Jimmy Valance in a music store. The pair's partnership became a defining facet of Adams' musical career. At the time, Valance was setting into his new role as a songwriter and studio musician after abandoning his drumming and songwriting duties for the Canadian rock band Prism. Later that year, Adams signed with A&M Studios. For $1, the pieces were falling into place. In 1980, Adams released his debut album, a self-titled work that Adams wrote alongside Valance. While the album was mildly successful in Canada, it failed to make the charts in the United States. In 1981, it saw Adams' second album release and his initial breakthrough into the mainstream. You Want It, You Got It featured Lonely Nights and Fits You Good, two songs that were well received in the United States as well as Canada. The album set the stage for his first U.S. tour in 1982. Not long after its start, he was opening for the Kinks and Foreigner. Cuts Like a Knife, which came out in 1983, really secured Adams' popularity. The album, which went platinum in the United States and Canada, boasted 3 successful singles. Adams' work was climbing Billboard's ranks, and America was primed and ready for another album. It was time for Adams to get to work. He returned to Canada to work with producer Bob Clearmountain, where the two were 9 tracks deep before deciding they needed a change and scenery. Their current studio was not equipped to handle the bigger sound Adams and Clearmountain were chasing, so they headed down to Power Station, a New York City studio made famous by its legendary clientele. While Adams was relatively happy with the album he'd created, upon listening, his manager Bruce Allen simply asked, "Where's the rock?" This led to the creation of Summer of '69, Adams' nostalgic rock hit that is one of the album's defining pieces. Reckless, this album right here, burst into the scene on Adams' birthday in 1984, securing the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 200. The album's whopping 6 singles all broke into the top 15 on the top 100. Reckless was the third album ever to achieve this feat, an honor it shared with Michael Jackson's Thriller and Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. In an era that was increasingly defined by sync pop and increasingly experimental work, going up to AI, of course, Reckless was praised for his quintessential rock sound. While Adams' work was not necessarily genre-defining, he perfected arena rock and drew listeners in with his bold sound and innovative lyrics. Listeners all over the world felt drawn to his music, and critics were no exception. Reckless received 2 Grammy nominations. Reckless sent Adam on a 2-year world tour during which he joined Tina Turner in Europe, a move that further cemented his worldwide popularity. Reckless unlocked a massive platform for Adams, an artist who would go on to enjoy enduring commercial success. The album won Adams a spot in the American legend conversation alongside the likes of Springsteen and Mellencamp, and Bryan Adams continues to entice listeners with his gruff, powerful vocals that he's always had and lyrics that reach across generational divides. I want to thank you for joining me today as we explored the story behind Reckless. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the legends of music. This Bryan Adams Reckless album I'm going to love forever. I will see you soon, and be sure to always spin those albums loudly and proudly. We'll see you next time.